AITA for socially denying a woman a seat next to me on the bus? Am I the asshole? Worried red pickle. NTA. This has happened to me too. These people are just on a power trip. I just get up and move to another empty seat. If I get on any kind of transport and there are empty seats everywhere, I don't go and sit directly next to someone. It's weird. Alien_overlord_1001 5593. This happened to me the other day. I was on the left of a 3-seat bench. Bag on middle. Empty right. Some crazy guy tried getting the one right next to me. I said, "There's an empty right there." I got lectured and called names. Obvious NTA. I look at it as what I call the urinal philosophy. You don't go right next to someone else if you have a ton of urinals open. Hakiki. 2175. NTA bag in seat greater than no intention on moving it greater than empty seats all over the bus equals find your ass somewhere else to sit and leave other people alone. Op. It sounds like you might have an occasionally anxious mindset. Rest assured that you did nothing wrong, hun. It was very inconsiderate for that lady to intentionally invade your personal space and demand she sit next to you. Yes. This is a public space and setting, so most of the time there isn't enough space to be left personally to yourself. The only one lacking manners and common courtesy was her and not you. Dumbass _5 16474. Or, NTA. What is it with people insisting on sitting so close to someone when there's perfectly fine seats elsewhere, especially in a mostly empty space? So unnecessary. Wolf Silver Oak. 629. NTA. Petty revenge is the answer. I was once on a packed bus with no free seats, except for one next to a window. A girl was in the aisle, with her bag on the window seat. I walked over and asked to be let in. She ignored me. I tried to move past her. She blocked me, continuing to ignore me. I couldn't believe it. Even the aisles were packed with standing passengers. This was 10 years ago and I had a very heavy laptop in a large tote-style purse with shoulder straps. I held it on the shoulder closest to her at about her eye level. I spent the whole ride leaning heavily into her seat, hanging on to one of the poles. Every time there was an excuse, stopping, going round a corner, losing my balance, etc., I accidentally swung backwards and absolutely clocked her in the face with my laptop. She kept trying to glare up at me, as if I were being rude, but I ignored her. After all, she could have just moved over into the window seat to avoid it. The stubborn little thing sat there and let me clock her in the face about 20 times instead of just letting me sit down. But that's okay. It was even more satisfying than sitting would have been. B. Gray 13. 287. Anyone saying anything but NTA is showing they are either too privileged or too young to know how buses work. There are unspoken rules. You don't creep on people until you have to. Wailing Wonder. 1325. I would have pointed at an empty seat and asked why she was being so difficult. I lose all patience with humanity after work and would have made a massive deal of her confrontational attitude, which I may or may not have regretted later. So props to you. Starling X10. 275. AITA for telling my parent friend that she needs to cook and that is why her daughter isn't eating. Am I the asshole? Mundane Jaguar 1039. NTA. Your friend left her daughter in your care and you were sharing that she does in fact eat. It's going to require more than TV dinners. People are going to argue in this post how you said it is what makes you the but the facts remain the same. The girl could have digestive issues with processed foods and her health is a priority, not your friend's feelings. Miss Black 3D Muggle 3. 3300. She isn't eating BC. The TV dinners are making her sick. The solution is her not eating those TV dinners. That means mom has to cook. Mom got defensive BC. She knows she is being a generally crappy parent in this aspect. She can batch cook, crock pot cook, meal kit cook, or find fresh pre-made meals. She cannot just let her kids starve or be ill all the time. Can you send food with you, daughter? During the week so the kid has a dinner that night? Edit also. The friend came to Op for advice. She literally asked Op for her opinion. No locksmith 8590. 13,448. NTAU fed her daughter, which is a standard part of caring for her. And the poor girl learned that home-cooked meals don't make her sick. Let's give mom the absolute benefit of the doubt. Sounds like a single mom who maybe doesn't have a lot of time for cooking. How about you have Sarah over once a week or so and teach her some basic cooking? It's not great, but it's a step in getting her to put some weight back on, which is the biggest priority. Fianna 9. 1764. NTA. You got a good dose of what's going on with the kid while she was with you. You know she has no problem eating your food, but gets sick from the food she eats at home and some of the food she eats at school. It's pretty clear there's some kind of allergy or intolerance here. Maybe you could have not said you should cook and just mentioned there may be an allergy to something in the food she's eating at home that maybe should be checked out by a doctor. Especially as it also affects her at school. But it also seems pretty clear this is something specific to the more processed foods. School meals are going to be a bit of a mix. But she's only eating ready meals at home. And she's fine with home-cooked meals with little to no processed ingredients. I think it's pretty clear you had the best of intentions here. And your friend just took it too personally. It's possible she doesn't know how to cook proper meals or is exhausted at mealtimes or something. And you saying you should cook has made her feel like a failure. Let her calm down a bit. Then contact her again. Explain that you simply think her daughter has an allergy or intolerance to something in these ready meals that crosses over into some of the food the school provides. And you didn't mean to make her feel bad for not cooking every night. That you suggested cooking because it would ease or stop her daughter's symptoms even without a diagnosis. Put the emphasis on finding out if her daughter has an allergy or intolerance, rather than cooking meals. And hopefully she'll feel less defensive about the whole thing. It might even get her to open up about any struggles she's having in this area. Like not knowing how to cook or being exhausted. So you can offer help and support. Hopefully this is a mother trying her best and feeling defensive. Because it felt, to her, like you were blaming her for her daughter's issues. Obviously you aren't. Just pointing out that there's obviously a medical reason the kid isn't eating at home and school. White Knight Primal. 691. NTA. Kids' health comes first. Feelings later. Fact check. She ate and felt well at your place. Didn't elsewhere. You flagged a potential issue. No harm in that. Jirayagorov 2T9TC. 250. NTA. Why is she upset? Why doesn't she care about her daughter's condition at all, and is she calm about the fact that her daughter doesn't eat anything? Janine_18. 388. NTAIF. Your friend, as her mother, didn't know that TV dinners, convenience food and even the school lunches make her sick. There's much more to fix than just her daughter's diet. I myself have a very sensitive digestive system, which makes me unable to handle most preservative foods. It's a thing and not just me being picky. Someone needs to intervene here. Because this girl's health is at risk. And you were completely right to address that she ate homemade food without a problem. Motherly me. 154. AITA for exposing my mom's lifelong grudge against me because I was born on the wrong day? Quote, am I the asshole? Soggy Hunt 3889. NTA. Born on the wrong day? That's a new level of ridiculousness. You did the right thing exposing her. Any underscore instance 3697. 2019. NTA. She hated you. Her own child for something you couldn't control. That is bizarre and absolutely wrong from her. I am sorry that you have someone like that as a mother, and I hope you have at least a parent figure in your dad. Do not give 5 cents about anything your mother says anymore. She doesn't deserve that you care about her. Trevina underscore ice. 6204. NTA. Your mom sounds like a piece of work. Could be PPD. But thinking she was going to get time to read a book before or after your birth was delusional, and it seems she cared more about that than giving a shit about her newborn baby. She'd have been too tired to read anyway, whether after your birth or not. And she said you were late, so how'd she think she'd be able to read the book if you came on time? She's just a shitty parent, and your dad was right to have a problem with her treatment of you. Your family doesn't see all the other things that go on or hear what is said, so their opinions don't matter. Immediate Bison 9755. 238. At this point you're an adult. Sorry you had a crappy childhood because your mom is insane. If it would help, I would go no contact with your mom. And keep contact with your siblings and of course your father. You now know the truth, which is possibly the harshest thing a parent can say to a child. But at least now you know she blames you from the moment you were born, that you ruined her life over a book. That must be a hell of a book. If it's bothering you, go to therapy. If not, don't even talk to your mom anymore. Don't go to events where she's at. Don't invite her to life events, and try to keep in contact with your siblings. The family that is on your side, because it's true. NTA. But your mom needs serious therapy and help. Even underscore enthusiasm 7223. 542. Look, Order of the Phoenix was a very important part of cultural history, and you were extremely selfish for making her miss it, you demon child. Totally, S. You are NTA in any way, shape or form. Sodomite. 469. NTA. Jesus Christ. Anyone defending your mother here is genuinely unwell. She couldn't read a book on release? Asterisk, is she a time traveler from the 1950s? What the hell reasoning is that? She's completely out of line. And you had every right to expose her. Any family that's mad is only upset because now they'll be exposed for supporting her too. XA 0 inches. Authentic underscore jester. 155. NTA. Your mom deserved to be exposed. How can she dare ruin your upbringing for a book? Unbelievable. I'm glad your dad is on your side. Cut contact with whoever sides with your mom. They're just as stupid. Decibreps. 75. AITA for refusing to ask my partner if he'll drive my friend to work when I go on maternity leave. Am I the asshole? Throwaway AITA 278902. It's so nice to read about someone who protects their partner from being taken advantage of. Absolutely NTA. Devoted Red. 12,533. NTA as parents of a newborn. You will have a lot on both your plates. Neither one of you should be adding to that, even if you are doing the lion's share of the parenting while he works. Having a newborn is just overwhelming and a big adjustment. And hell also need to be supporting you in your recovery. He's going to be exhausted and overwhelmed too. He should feel pressure to take this on as well. She's an adult. It's time for her to take responsibility for her own transportation. This didn't come out of nowhere. She's had 8 months to prepare for this situation and resolve it. It's unfortunate that she was not able to do so, but you simply will not be able to continue to be her personal Uber with a newborn at home. The answer is no. Cruel Summer. 1449. Tell your husband that if your entitled non-driving friend approaches him about driving him to work, that he will not be accommodating her people-pleaser tendencies or not. He needs to please himself. He needs to please you. He can politely but firmly decline. Tell him he will be sleep deprived and tired, and he will have plenty enough on his plate without getting up an hour earlier every day to drive somebody well out of his way to their work. He doesn't need this. It's not his responsibility. And your work friend has had months to figure things out for herself. NTA. Euthanasia 63. 236. NTA greater than she has a lot of options and none of them are yours. 1. Walk to work 2. Bike to work 3. Get a scooter 4. Bus to work 5. Uber to work 6. Ask the job to give her WFH hours to minimize days she needs to commute 7. Asking another coworker, none of this is your responsibility to figure out. Revolutionary _ad 1846. 511. NTA, but you should speak with your partner before she does. Just tell your partner what your friend asked. Tell them not only do you not think it is a good idea logistically, but you both are about to have a new baby. So adding anything to your plates is a bad idea. You are going to need support at home. Neither of you are going to be getting great sleep. And any free moments should be spent with each other, resting, or getting stuff done. It makes no sense for him to get up an hour earlier to drive her to work when the two of you are going to be maybe the most stressed and busy as you have ever been or will be. And you aren't eternally responsible for your friend. Okay, so she wouldn't have taken this job if you couldn't drive her. Well, then she can find a new job. She has had 7 months or so to figure out her life. And sure, a driving school is 2 hours away, but she could have figured that out. Spent a week out there to take the classes, for example. And if driving for her is really not an option, well, then she needs to find a new job and/or a new place to live that facilitates her lifestyle. Do not let her guilt you. Talk to your partner so you are both on the same page. Then give her a firm no. And be very clear that once you stop working, the rides stop, except in real emergencies. For example, if she figures out rides for like 2 months straight and then that ride cancels. Sure, give her a ride one time because she is showing she has figured it out. And friends help each other. Quote. M. Fruitfly. 590. NTA. Your coworker is making a common mooch assumption. She thinks you're the source of her problems. She can't get to work. Rather than recognizing that you are a wonderful solution, you take her to work. That is not available 100% of the time. Your friend has had years to solve her driving issue. So what if driving school is 2 hours away? She's had years of work. And now months of notice about your pregnancy. To make that happen, her failure to do so is not your problem or your husband's problem to solve. Jeepers Creepers 74. 211. NTA. She is trying to guilt you. You and your so are about to need every scrap of sleep you can get. XA0 after your maternity. I suggest you decline to take up the role of driver again. The next time she bugs you about this, tell her she has 3 months to find a new job if this is so difficult for her. Why comment queasy? 103.